Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. Congratulations to our Buccaneers in a victory 20-10 over the New Orleans Saints Sunday in the Superdome. Tremendous game, and we came out with a victory 20-10. It was a hard-fought game on the field, on the sidelines, and in the middle of the field. It was a 3-0 fiasco at halftime. We tied up to 3-3, went ahead 10-3 on a pass to Perryman from Brady. And after that, we had a touchdown run back by Edwards, our safety, on a pick from Jameis Winston, and a field goal from Suckup to make it 20. They scored a touchdown late, 20-10. We had a melee in the middle of the field between Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans. The ongoing fight between those two. We all remember back when Evans punched Lattimore on the sidelines when Jameis Winston was our quarterback in a game in that very New Orleans Superdome. So it happened again. Lattimore mouthing off after he mugged Scotty Miller on a pass play and it smarted off to Brady. Brady turned around and talked to him a little bit, and then he pushed Leonard Fournette in the head. Mike Evans come off the sidelines, and Cole Cockton pushed him down and took on another receiver. As we shoot the show, he's appealing the decision for suspension for the Sunday game against Green Bay, but likely he's not going to win. So that's what happened up in New Orleans, an all-out brawl, literally, as we all watched. But we won the game 20-10, and we're moving on again till Sunday when we play the Green Bay Packers, Game 3. Primetime matchup, 4:25 Fox. Everybody and their brother's going to be there from the networks. Brady against Rodgers in Tampa. So that's what's happening. Everybody get out on Hines and get over there on Leroy Street and get out there and party in that parking lot and get some tailgating going all day and get ready for a big game and get out there and root the Bucs on. We're going to need help. As you know, Chris Godwin's out. Mike Evans, of course, is going to be suspended. Julio Jones is hurt. Russell, Gage, I don't know what's his status as far as playing. So we've got our 4 top receivers all out. So we're going to have to go with Perryman, Miller, Darden. This week, we signed the veteran Cole Beasley to a contract 2 days ago. He's going to be a valuable player. I don't know if he can get on the field this week against Green Bay. We're all hands on deck. It's going to be no receivers, a line. We had a third left tackle this week. Josh Wells was injured. We know Donovan Smith was out. We had a third guy, Walton, come in and play, and he played admirably. The offensive line played admirably. The offensive play calling from Byron Leftwich is a little bit left to be desired. It looked pretty pitiful, pretty flat. Not too much imagination in Byron Leftwich's play calls this week. Let's lay it on the line here. Sports Talk with the Cowboy. We're not going to pull no punches with you fans because you know what time it is, okay? And if you're one of these little powder puffs that want to watch the networks and watch the pretty ladies and watch the ex-football jocks give you a bunch of BS, that's one thing. But all you Sports Talk with the Cowboy fans, you know what time it is. So, it was a poor calling of a game by Byron Leftwich. Let's just say it like it was. It was 0 points in the first half. It was 3 points in the third quarter. It was unimaginative, okay? Yes, a lot of plays were terrible, not called. Scotty Miller was mugged at least 2 times. One time drug out by Lattimore. It was just terrible. The officiating was terrible. That's what started the fight between Lattimore and all of them. If Lattimore got a 15-yard penalty or a flag to where the point of the foul that took place on Scotty Miller, he'd have never said nothing to Brady, and this had never happened and got into a fight, okay? But what happened was what happened. A missed call by a referee. Do I blame it on the referee? Yes. I'm going to blame it when it's that flagrant. And there's a lot of it going on in this game the other day. So Leftwich's, some of his calls are good. They just couldn't be made because it was holding or just flagrant fouls against our receivers. Our receivers just dropped the ball. So it wasn't very pretty until the fourth quarter. After the fight seemed to fire up the teams. They were just kind of mellowing it out. Y'all watched the game like I did. So we won the game. We came out with that not many injuries, if any, except for Josh Wells that was injured. But other than that, we're the same team we were going in there. except Mike Evans is suspended for Sunday's game against the Packers. A big game, game 3 of the 4-game gauntlet they had to go through. Cowboys, Saints, Packers, and Chiefs. What a gauntlet they put our Bucs through. Congratulations to the Bucs. The defense played lights out, scored a touchdown, sacked Jameis Winston 4 times, 3 interceptions. The number 1 defense in all NFL, our Bucs. So congratulations. A lot of other games took place this weekend. The Giants got a second victory. The Jaguars from Jacksonville beat the Indianapolis Colts. The Cowboys with a second-string quarterback beat the Cincinnati Bengals. The Dolphins scored 21 points in the 4th quarter to beat the Baltimore Ravens. A lot of stuff going on this weekend in the NFL. Y'all all watched the great games we had this weekend. We got a lot more coming up this game week 3. So continue to watch us, and we'll continue to keep you in touch with what's going on as far as our team and other games. We have to mention Trey Lance, the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, because he was injured, seriously hurt 3 bones in his neck. His neck is not really broken in what we think a broken neck, broken bones in his neck. He's out for the year. So here at Sports Talk with the Radio, me and DJX has talked many times about Jimmy Garoppolo, why they should have kept him. Well, guess what? He's quarterbacking now because Lance is out with a broken neck. Okay? So, again, we're going to keep you abreast of the major injuries like Trey Lance's, and it's sad to see the young man get hurt that way, but he will be back. So we're going to move on now to Major League Baseball and our Tampa Bay Rays and their quest for a World Series. And we are almost ready for the regular season to end within the next week at the taping of this show. And the Tampa Bay Rays are in the wild card hunt. They're solidly in a wild card spot, either the first or second wild card behind Toronto as it sits tonight. Their offense has been non-showing up. They have not been able to get on base, get any consistency in hittings, or even score any points. Our pitching's tried to keep them in there, but it's hard to win a game if your bats can't not hit the ball. And the poor old Rays have hit a bad spell when it comes to hitting the ball. We've lost a lot of our hitters. Wander Franco, I don't even know where he is. He's never where you need him when you need him. No timetable when he's coming back. But you just can't strike out as many times as the Tampa Bay Ray offense has been doing. Leaving 1 runner stranded, 2 runners stranded. No consistency in the bat. Pitching's trying to hold on, but they're in the hunt to make the wild card spot and the pennant race. So go Rays. And now we're going to go into the question and answers. And the first question tonight is from Ed. And Ed is from Orlando. And Ed wanted to know, what about the Jacksonville Jaguars and their victory this weekend against a formidable opponent in the Indianapolis Colts? Well, Ed, the Jacksonville Jaguars played a real great game this week against the Indianapolis Colts and won 24-0. They played good. They played consistent. They used some of those free agents that they got, Kirk and some other ones up in Jacksonville. Travis Etienne, the running back that was selected with Trevor Lawrence last year with the Jags, played excellent ball. Trevor Lawrence looked a lot more comfortable. I had a question last week from Murray about the Jaguars, and absolutely looked comfortable, Ed, Trevor Lawrence. So, Murray, if you're watching tonight, some of your question last week, Trevor Lawrence looked good, and they looked good, and Doug Peterson, coach football team, looked good and beat the Indianapolis Colts, who looks real bad. The Indianapolis Colts look real bad, Ed. But your Jacksonville Jaguars, they looked real well and got their first victory, and it was a great one. So thanks for your question, Ed, and God bless you for your support. And the next question is from Kathy, and Kathy's in Lake Placid, and Kathy wanted to know about the Miami Dolphins and how that 4th quarter comeback took place and 3 touchdowns were scored in 1 quarter. And Kathy, we've talked about it on this show about their new coach. He is a genius. He doesn't fit the mold of the other 31 coaches in the NFL. He can think while the game is going on. And as you could see, they were behind 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. He called an excellent game plan and scored 3 touchdowns and eventually kicked a field goal to win that ball game. So, Kathy, you've got a great coach down there, and you've got a great team down there with the Dolphins, and they're going to do great things, and they're going to continue to do great things for years to come. They've got the right coach down there in Miami. He is going to be a legend when it's all said and done. Take that from the Cowboy to the bank. God bless you. Thank you for your question, Kathy. And the last question tonight is from Lee. and Lee is in Tampa. And Lee wanted to know what I thought about the referees and the calls that were made in last week's Buccaneer New Orleans Saints game. Lee, the call and the refereeing is terrible, and the NFL is responsible for it. There's a lot of gambling going on, as you know. Everybody's gambling and sports betting, and you got to ask yourself the question: why isn't there a flag the coaches can throw out onto the field and challenge a no call, not a challenge of a call? Because you can't challenge something that's not been called. But what if you or a coach could throw a flag, a no-call flag, and then New York could look on the video and see whether your point was right or wrong? Why not a no-call flag? We seen it last week with Scotty Miller getting bugged by Marshawn Lattimore. It was absolutely no question about pass interference. Referee standing there looking at it. No call. Okay, so Lee, it's terrible. The officiating's terrible. The NFL's responsible for it. It is absolutely terrible. And all you sports fans, no matter what team you are in the NFL, you watch yourself. It is terrible. And it should be a no-call flag. Both coaches should get a no-call flag. Oh, it would slow the game down. No, it wouldn't. It'd get the game right. Lee, you're right. The refereeing's terrible. There's no question about it. We're going to shoot straight we here at Sports Talk with the Cowboy. God bless you, Lee. Thank you for your question. DJX, what you got for me tonight?
Well, Cowboy, you know how we do it. Let's get right into it. But before we do that, let me just say, happy birthday, buddy.
Well, thank you.
I wish you many, many, many more.
Well, you know, I'm 36. You can turn that around and get to where I'm at, okay? And
right on.
I hope I have quite a few more.
Right.
And thank you.
Will.
Thank you very much.
God bless you. All right. San Francisco 49ers report. Steve Kerr meets with Kyle Shanahan 49er days before Broncos game.
Well, he probably met with him, and they're old friends, and got together with the old memories. They've known each other a long time. As you know, Shanahan was in that Denver market for many years with his father, and he coached there, so he had many friends there, and Kerr and him became friends long ago, and it only makes sense they'd get together and chew the fat a little bit.
Right. Shoot the shot for it.
Shoot the shot.
All right. New England Patriots report. This aspect of the Ravens' offense will be a huge challenge for the Patriots.
The Ravens' offense predicates Lamar Jackson and the play-action run and pass, and Bill Belichick is smart enough to know that he's going to have to eliminate the number one threat, and that'd be Lamar Jackson and that run and that play-action pass. And it's not easy to defend a quarterback that you don't know whether he's going to run or pass, and then he runs, and then he can throw what he's running. You got to have defensive players set up for it, and it's a challenge.
Right. It is. All right. San Francisco reports again. Kyle Shanahan provides injury updates as George Kittle starts week active.
Well, he's active on the roster. That means he can put his uniform on, go out there, and they can say, get a helmet and get out there. So that really gives you an indication. He's come a long way from a few weeks ago. Remember when he was just starting his practicing.
That he has. 49ers place Trey Lance on injury reserve. Bring back familiar face and series of moves.
You got to bring them back. You got to bring some of your backups off the practice squad. Trey Lance has gone for the years. We've said before, it's a shame, and it's part of this game. And we said how quick it could happen, and it happened that quick. It happened game 2. It happened there's 15 more games before even the postseason, and he's gone.
So I think you touched on this. The Tevin Coleman signed to practice squad officially, replacing Trey Lance.
Yes. He will be replacing him. And Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, will be the starter. He's coming right off the bench. He came off the bench during the game and won the game for the 49ers last week. So we talked about that last question we had last show of how the players were kind of worried after Trey Lance had lost the first game. And now here game 2, he's out for the year. He's hurt for the rest of the remaining year with a broken neck. So Jimmy Garoppolo's sitting there. You're behind. They go to the bench. You say, Jimmy, get your helmet on. Jimmy goes there and wins the game by 20 points. Okay? So we talking about these veterans that they were kind of quietly muttering, well, not anymore, they're not. Jimmy's quarterback in the 49ers.
All right, my last one. Jacoby Myers getting knee checked. New England Patriots.
Yes, he needs his knee checked. He twisted it, and maybe I think he's hurt it a little bit worse than they want to let on. They want to keep him on the active roster where they put a helmet back on him, but I think he might be out for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it sure hurts when you got to keep him on there a couple weeks, and you put him in his reserve. You got to keep him off at least 5 weeks. So if you got a guy that's going to be healed in 3 weeks, he can't play, but he's going to be healed in 3 weeks. We'd have to wait an extra 2 weeks. So it's a tough call, but I think he might have to go on it.
Right. Hopefully he get a speedy recovery. Well, I'm going to leave it off right there, Cowboy. We know you got the big party to get to.
Well,
tonight.
God bless you, DJX, and thank you for your wishes.
You're welcome, buddy.
Well, I want to announce the winners of Week 2 Cowboys Picks of the Week contest. And this week's winner was Bill of Sebring and Angel of Sebring, which won Week 2 of this week's picks. So now we're going to the Week 3 contest. The Cowboys and the Giants, the Bills and the Dolphins, the Bucks and the Packers, the Panthers and the Saints, and the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are your 5 games of the week this week. Get them on board and get on this contest and get yourself in the playoff standings like the others have done in the first 2 weeks. There's plenty of weeks to win this to get yourself in the playoffs. Go ahead and put it on the comment, push it, and enter yourself into this contest and win your prize. Okay, so God bless you all. In college football, it was another one of those weeks. So much to talk about. We don't have time on the night show to get to. We'll have to get to it on next week's show. Plenty of college football. Continue to watch that and high school on Friday night. And until next week, God bless you. Cowboy out.